Internet wins again. First topic we got up is Miss B. Simone and her comments about that she will only date an entrepreneur when Nick Cannon questioned her about setting her up with a date. He asked her what were the criterias, and she said she will only date an entrepreneur.
I think it's just criteria.
Criterias, same thing.
Hey.
We make up words.
Well, she had more to the list, but the first thing she talked about was an entrepreneur.
She said she couldn't be with a 9-to-5er because of the mindset of a 9-to-5er. She needs somebody who is interested in building
generational wealth. And she
legacy.
said you can't build generational wealth from a 9-to-5.
And the mindset of you have to be a certain mindset. Now, I might be an anomaly, okay? But I damn sure got some generational wealth already set up.
And she also said that she wants somebody that will understand her lifestyle.
See,
and she believes that at 9 to 5.
Let that be the thing. Those are two totally different things.
Okay.
Understanding the lifestyle.
So let's talk about it.
But I can understand the combination though. So somebody's asking me the other day, what kind of woman do I want?
He said all of them.
I need a woman that will complement the man that I am, both as a family man and as a businessman. Okay. Now, complementing breaks down into several different layers. But the thing is when you are with somebody, you represent each other. When you out in public, when you're dealing with other people, if you out there acting an ass and looking stupid, we're going to tie you back to your significant other. And we're going to talk about you. So how you present yourself, how you handle yourself, how you deal with certain situations. I too, my girl may not need to be an entrepreneur, but she's got to understand what I'm doing. She's got to be supportive of what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And these are all complementative things. If you see I'm working on a bigger picture for us, have my back however you can.
But does her job define
yes,
those
it
things?
It can. Because if it's like this. Do you feel you deserve more out of life? Because I do. If you feel like you don't deserve and you're willing to settle, that's cool. But that's not for me. I want somebody that wants more like I want more. I want somebody that feels like they deserve more, but not just deserve, but are willing to work for it.
So a 9-to-5er can't be that person?
So hold on. So the question is...
Because you can have passionate... I have friends that are social workers that do important work. Everybody can't be an entrepreneur.
But it's not just a regular 9-to-5er. So when I say a 9-to-5er, I'm talking somebody that's just they
whole life
routine. That's it. You do the same thing every day. There's nothing more behind it.
But
there's nothing more.
Well, hold on. So the question is, should entrepreneurs date entrepreneurs? Because that's basically how she framed it. She said, I want to only date an entrepreneur because only an entrepreneur will understand me.
Listen. She's an entrepreneur, but there's entrepreneurs out there that wouldn't even give her a time of day. Okay? So to liken yourself on a pedestal to where you're better than a 9-to-5er is already crazy.
Well, was it better or was that her preference?
Now, that's her preference, but she made it as if she was better than the 9-to-5er because they don't have the legacy mentality. Those were her words. Watch the interview. She said, I need somebody who have the mindset of somebody who wants to leave a legacy for their family, who wants to leave a legacy for their kids. How can you do that in a 9? Is that what she said?
I personally, my thing is, it's just ignorant to say just because who is buying your product?
9-to-5ers.
You don't want their money? Because I know for me personally,
that's not what.
No, but I'm saying, but when you say things like that, and you say the mindset and this and that, and you're not building. If you have a 9-to-5, you're not building generational wealth. Well, then I'm not gonna spend my money with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna keep my $9 because obviously I need them. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and so there's people like that. But for me, like I said, there are people who got 9-to-5s, doctors, lawyers, attorneys, right?
We need them.
Right. But now we're looking at, okay, so how do you establish generational wealth? Like, what is your definition of that first? Because just because you have a 9-to-5 doesn't mean that you can't establish it.
Exactly.
But,
that's what she said.
But it's more to it. So when you dig into that question, it's are you just 9 to 5 and just settling? You have no aspirations to do anything else, or do you have a mindset where this is just either temporary or something that you're going to add on to?
It doesn't. To my thing is, it doesn't have to be temporary to still be a person of have the mindset that you guys are saying. I don't have to want to not work at the job that I might like doing that, and the work that I'm doing might be essential. That's the thing. I feel like this whole situation showed what essential work is important.
But it wasn't about essential work. So again, generational wealth
is knowledge, and it's you setting up. My thing is, it's what you do with your money. Mm-hmm. It's not about how you make it. What are you doing with the money, and what is the knowledge that you're passing down? Because even if you are an entrepreneur, if say I start a business tomorrow and my kids, that's not their dream, that's not what they want to do. Only 30% of businesses make it to the next generation. 12% make it to the generation after that. So what are you going to do? What are you teaching them? If they want to sell your business, do they know what to do with the money? Do they know how to make it run without them actually having to be the person to do it?
But you're addressing it the same. It's the same answer, just from a different perspective. Because at the end of the day, it's not just the 9 to 5. So when you're saying it's what you do with your money, that's still having another plan. That's still adding on to what you're doing, not just settling for the day in, day out 9 to 5.
But that's what I feel like. That's where I feel like she fumbled the bag right there. Is saying that they got to have the mindset to build generational wealth, and we need to stop teaching black people that you cannot build generational wealth from a 9 to 5, because everybody's not built to be an entrepreneur. So you telling them that they're not going to be nothing in life instead of teaching them what to do with their money to build generational wealth.
And this also comes from the same chick who just got whomped for plagiarizing a book. Mm-hmm. Okay, so wait.
We got whomp that.
I'm up at 3 a.m. Control Alt Delete.
I'm just saying.
And copy and paste it.
You're manifesting your dreams on somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Over somebody else. I just feel like this. I feel like it's very it's distasteful to go online and then say what she said without having a complete context and without being able to articulate exactly what
it's dangerous too.
It's too general.
It is, right? Because she didn't get into the meat and the potatoes of what she meant. Or maybe she did.
So there's two sides to the statement though. There's two aspects to the statement. There's one, what she wants for herself.
Yes.
Period. That trumps everything first. She's stating what she wants for her. Now, not going into the detail of the statement of a 9 to 5er doesn't have the mindset of that part is an opinion. So we've got a statement on what you want, and we have an opinion on what you believe, all tied into the same comment.
And that's why I was like, oh, okay. But then when she tried to explain herself and she went on live and was like the mindset and this and that to me, when she was trying to defend herself, is where she started the talking down. And it's like, we got to start. We've just sat here and talked about teaching the next generation, and we need to teach them that there's different ways to skin a cat. Everybody ain't got to be doing the same thing.
Right.
Now, look,
and our community needs more people doing different things. Because like I said last week, I can't eat T-shirts. I can't eat your mixtape. I can't put your, you know what I'm saying? Like, we need to diversify within black business.
And I think that was the issue I had with her comment. I don't have an issue with her preference. Everybody's entitled to their preference. If you don't want to date a 9 to 5er, don't date a 9 to 5er. Date an entrepreneur. But the reason behind it, and for you to generalize all 9 to 5ers to have the same mentality, and then to generalize all entrepreneurs to have the same mentality,
I know some broke ones.
It's wrong, because a 9 to 5er may understand you staying up till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Another entrepreneur, and you know what I was reading on Twitter was some of the people like say, "Oh yes, sis, because I want somebody that doesn't have to clock in and clock out. When we want to go to Miami, we can just go on a Tuesday." It's farthest from the truth, because you may be with the entrepreneur that works 7 days a week, 12-hour days, and he cannot do that.
There's a lot of misconception in that. There's a lot of misconception in how entrepreneurs move.
Well, that's because that's from the voice of people who are not
entrepreneurs.
Right.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Now with her, I feel like she had to backpedal. Why? Because it was such a general statement that when people start getting on her line, she had to defend herself.
Yes.
The problem is that she didn't defend herself correctly. So
being condescending.
Right. Right. And I'm pretty sure that wasn't even the goal, but put on the hot seat right then and there, and then everybody's sort of getting at you while you're trying to explain. So it's like you just fighting everything off. You're not going to respond the right way when you feel like you're being attacked from all circles, from all sides. You know what I mean? So not saying that's what it is, but that's a high possibility because a lot of people don't know how to respond under pressure.
Yeah. And let's put this into perspective. She was also getting criticized because of her comments on the George Floyd protest. When they asked her, how come you're being silent? How come you're not saying anything? And she said, because I'm a Christian and I'm trying to be as godly as possible. And I'm trying to respond to this like how Jesus would.
What does
and
one
then
have
people
to
were
do
like,
with the other?
Wouldn't Jesus stand up and say something about social injustice?
I feel like
why do you call being a Christian to being quiet?
I feel like to make that statement,
a bad week, bro.
To make that kind of a statement, mean you're just looking for an easy way to back out of that conversation.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because if you're a person that should have been addressing it and should have been saying something and you didn't, and now you put on blast for it, if you don't want to argue that out, you're going to look for the easiest way to move. But then making that kind of a statement just put her back under the magnifying glass. Because what kind of statement is that for this situation?
It's bad timing. And I think most people were looking at it like, okay, so as soon as you made your money, now you're silent.
Right.
And then on top of that, you're saying, I don't want to date a 9-to-5er. So you're making this look like that you're like you said, like
it's
better
especially
than others.
You gotta think she's social media famous. That's how she got started. So your social media platform gave you the avenue to do these other things that you're doing as far as business wise. So people are looking at it like, dang, when you didn't have no followers, we was sharing, we was liking, we was posting. Like, you know what I mean? So I feel like that's where it came to. And you're selling a book about manifesting your best life.
And you're manifesting other people's thoughts in your page.
Right. Like what you're selling, I feel like your audience is the one that you're talking about in her situation. Not everybody's situation, but your audience, you're saying how to manifest your best, how to manifest what you want. You're talking to a lot of 9-to-5 people. You know what I mean? That are going to be buying your book.
For some reason, man, they feel like we got to be like rappers or athletes.
We always got to be entrepreneurs. We always got to be amazing.
Sports, or we got to be, you know what I mean?
First of all, I am amazing.
Well, you know what I mean. But for us to be successful or be considered successful, we got to be.
But listen,
you either an entertainer, you're an entrepreneur,
and I will address
you're in sports.
Listen, you've got to be though, right?
Yeah.
If you don't believe in yourself, how can you expect anybody else to believe in you? You can call me cocky, you can call me whatever you want, but everything that I am starts from within me. You know what I mean? So hell yeah, I'm gonna say I'm amazing. I believe it. Hell yeah, I'm gonna say I'm dope. I believe it.
I believe all of those things too, but I'm not gonna let B Simone peer pressure me into being whatever she wants.
No, because it's not about her. Like she will find somebody that's for her,
and
that's fine.
And that's good.
It hasn't worked out so far.
I feel like the attributes she was looking for are not tied to a job though. I feel like that's what people are saying. The attributes you're looking for are just who somebody is as a person.
What she's saying is she don't want just a regular motherfucker. That's what she's saying.
And that's
long story short.
Photo B. Yeah. What are your thoughts on should entrepreneurs date entrepreneurs?
Mr. Entrepreneur.
It definitely depends. Only because I have one of my boys who kind of looks like a mentor, bigger brother. He likes to put people in the categories of kites and trees, right? Let me explain. You got a tree. You got somebody who has stability. You got somebody who's stable. They're grounded. They're where they are, right? You have kites who are most likely like us entrepreneurs who are going with the wind, right? It picks up
free flyers,
right? And we just go. Right? When something's good, when things are good, things are great. We on the wind, we up high. But when things are low, when things ain't moving, we ain't moving. Right? So when the tree gets with a kite, when the kite gets with a tree, or however you want to say it, it has the kite now has that stability to be able to still fly, but it's still grounded because it still has the stability from the tree.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's kind of like, sometimes like 9-to-5s or the trees, entrepreneurs are the kites.
Look at you, man, bringing the world together.
That's real. I feel like it's a good dynamic with the right.
It is.
With the right, again, but I feel like we I don't care how people date, but I wouldn't.
I just want somebody to be happy with what they're doing, so I don't have to hear them complain about how they're unhappy and not.
Can you
doing
just love yourself
right,
before you
it.
love
Have your own purpose.
Love yourself.
Because
love yourself.
There's nothing worse than being a person like myself or you or any of you guys, and we are constantly growing.
Yes.
Right. And I feel like some people have a problem with people like us who are constantly growing.
Now, with that though, I think that is one of the benefits of dating another entrepreneur is that they have a better understanding on how you have to
they
move.
might suck at being an entrepreneur.
And they might, but there's still a better understanding. A regular 9-to-5er or just anybody who's not into the field of expanding the way we all try to expand. That's why I say it looks easy because they don't know. So when you don't know why there are certain long nights, when you don't know why you got to be away for so long in general, that creates arguments. It creates issues. It creates
time with me.
Right. It creates an unstable environment for your relationship when they don't get it. So
but is that a generalization though? Because and I'm not saying that what you're saying isn't true because obviously you have to have some level of understanding. But a profession may change, right?
But that's why I said a benefit.
I feel like that's that person though, because I mean maybe I'm thinking of it because I'm looking at the situation of my relationship is great. You know what I mean? So it's like to me it's more so about the relationship, the communication, the maturity. Those are way different than your job.
But that just makes you one of the lucky ones, right? So when we were addressing earlier, like with my situation, women are looking at other women and they're judging and they're comparing, right? With what I do, it's hard for somebody that doesn't get it. If they don't get it, it's hard for them to understand. They want to be there for you. They want to be there for you. They want to support you. I had an ex was like, you're very good at what you do. I just don't like looking at it.
Okay, so I think that's a good point. So because another entrepreneur may feel the same way.
Right.
Yeah.
They just might, so you're saying you would need somebody that's in your field because they would understand what that comes with. Because you can have an entrepreneur that maybe does hair products and she might not know all the women that you may have to deal with and it's going to be the same argument.
Not so much in my field. What I'm saying is it's just a better understanding.
You want somebody secure in who they are. Just say that.
Yeah.
But that's
right.
That could be anybody.
Right,
that's my thing is it could be anybody.
All of us have the same problem, bro. We all have to be with someone who is extremely secure with themselves. We're online all the time, and not just on the podcast. We're in the studio, right? I'm making music. I'm running around, bro. I work in a whole different city, bro. I'm not even here during the week. I'm home on the weekends.
Right.
You know what I mean? So in order for my relationships to flourish, I have to have somebody who is enough for themselves to know that you're enough to be in the situation that we're here. Bump all the 9-to-5s. So just be happy with yourself.
For real. Because I look at my husband, look how much he supports us.
Everything.
You know what I mean? And
everything.
But listen,
y'all done took him on. That's your friend now, you know?
He understands though, right? That's the thing. Is before anything else, just finding somebody that understands what you do. Same way you gotta understand them. Right. No, security is a big part.
Yeah, because I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 dudes? My husband was like, all right, bye.
He was just walking out. He was just walking out. And I was like, man, hug your wife and give her a kiss goodbye. So she came over there, and I was like, that's why somebody else went your black queen. He said, F him, I don't care, I'm everything. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, have that confidence and be secure.
But he's secure in the relationship as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think trust is a big thing, right?
Well, they came up together. It's different when you want to meet one of us right now.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
I want you to. I can't. If you know that you can't handle this, stay away.
Right. Well, and like in Swag's field and in Photo Beast field, you have to trust them, right? Because you're around beautiful women all the time.
Isn't it the same
and
they're not all beautiful.
Okay.
I'm not putting names up. I'm just saying they're not
the
all.
The perception is that you're around beautiful women
and you have access
all the time.
Listen, we are artists.
What is the difference?
My camera has access.
What's the difference between them being around people who they're taking photos with, or you acting like Liz and being an activist, or me being in the studio?
They have more opportunity.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
So one woman
it's more access to temptation.
Yeah.
Is what I would say. It's more access to temptation.
Now, well, I'm glad I don't do what you do because I already have the same problem. You're doing music,
right? But it's because you're what we call a power player. So you are in position to have the same access.
I don't want it.
It's not about one. You're just there.
Mm-hmm. Right. And the insecurity is going to kick in.
Yeah, so I've
seen it every time. Everybody swears to God, I can handle it, I can handle it, I can handle it. Mm-hmm. And then you wake up and they're like going through your Facebook page, going through your Twitter and going through like, who is this? Who is this? Who is this?
That's part of the insecurity. Now, my thing is, I done seen so much ass and titties, this shit is stupid. You know what I'm saying? So when that's the case, we're not 18, 19, 20 giddy about seeing fucking nudity and shit. Mm-hmm. It's like what I do, I'm good at. What he does, he's good at. You know what I'm saying? We are artists, and we are taking people and sort of turning them into it's almost like your alter ego. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, surgery, bro.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
But look, I've had many just like, oh, don't Photoshop me, don't do this, don't do that. Why? Because I want to look natural. Do you put makeup on when you go to the club? Right? Do you still dress yourself up to look a certain way?
Women have a different perspective. Like he has a different definition for classic. Women have a different definition for natural.
Right. So, but the thing is you still dress yourself up a certain way to be presented a certain way. Now, when I'm editing somebody, unless demanded to do so, to do otherwise, I edit to make people look good at the shape that they're at. You know what I'm saying? Now, I had a woman one time. It was a lesbian wedding I was working, right? Cute bride, very cute, very cute. She's a big girl, but she was still cute, looked good. She was like, "Make me skinny," in her wedding photos. I said, "I'm gonna make you look good for your size. Don't worry about it. I got you." She said, "I don't give a fuck." She said, "If I wanted to see how fat I am, I'd look in the mirror. Make me look skinny." So I took her down half her size, and she was happy with that.
That's called insecurity.
It is. It is.
Right.
She's definitely not ready for the entrepreneur 9-to-5
So it's like, and that just goes back to, like, what we do as artists. You know what I'm saying? We are bringing people's visions to life, what they want to be. You've got your regular self at home, and then you got that celebrity in your head. You know what I mean? That superstar in your mind, who you are and who you want to be. You know, and that's part of what we do. We bring that part to life. Everybody's got an alter ego. Everybody's got a little.
Does that change the fact, with all this good stuff you just said about how amazing your job is with all the boobs and the tits and all the ass, right? Does that change the fact that when people come into your life, it doesn't bother them?
Oh, it definitely bothers
them. Okay, then that's what we're getting to.
It definitely is. and that is still because they are not as secure in themselves as they would like to be.
Yes.
No, they are, until they find out
what you do.
Exactly.
Well, I think it's a test, right? I think most people think they're secure until they're tested with how secure they actually are.
I'm gonna tell you, I live that life.
Yeah.
I live that life.
Right.
I live that. I've gotten complaints that you're sharing your stock winnings too often. It makes people want to be with you, right? It's almost like people want to get with you and then change who you are to fit their level of security.
To fit their
but you can only say what you've been with. I've never been with somebody that does that type of photography. I've never been with somebody that's a producer. So you might
thought she was
be
gonna
secure.
Say something else. I've never been with somebody like you. Not
no,
many people
you know what I'm saying? That's a producer. So you can't say what you're secure enough for if you haven't experienced it.
Yeah, but that's true.
Right?
But I'm not.
Sometimes it's more than what you believe it's gonna be.
I'm not the tester spray bottle. I'm not the guy.
You know what I'm saying.
I'm not the. I've worked way too hard. He's worked way too hard. He's worked way too hard. And you guys have worked way too hard to be in a situation where somebody comes in and they demand you to change how you move your business.
When they liked you for who you was first.
Well, they mostly liked you because you were popular and you looked like you had your stuff together.
Then people get selfish.
And then they figure out a lot of people like him because he's popular and has his life together.
I know if we're dealing with somebody that's, gives back a lot to the community and does a lot of stuff like that, it is a little bit hard as far as him always being needed, you know what I mean, in other areas. But if my thing is, as a man, he's gonna take care of home first. I don't have to worry about.
He does a great job.
You know what I mean? I know he has a lot of different responsibilities and hats to wear, but I know I'm gonna be taken care of, and that's to me is because of him as a person. He doesn't. I'm not saying, hey, you got to stop doing this. Don't go over there. Don't do that. Don't take that opportunity. I know he's gonna balance it to where
you have
I
that
have
luxury
what I need.
of time, right? And you guys grew up together. So you guys know what it is, and that's what time is.
Your
right?
situation
time
is different. Your circumstances
and knowledge on how to handle those relationships, right? When you're 34, 35, 36, 37 years old, and I'm already like I feel like, and I'm not trying to be like swag, but I feel like
where are we going with this?
If you come in my vicinity, then wherever you are, it's now here, because I play up here. All my friends are millionaires. All my friends own homes. All my friends do. You understand what I'm saying? So the business mind. So I do understand what she's saying, but I'm not saying that a 9-to-5 person is not eligible to fill that position of someone I'm dating.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I understand what she means, because you do want someone that is going to be able to handle that situation and be able to, right? Because
that's all I kept saying was. I get that, but what does it have to do with their job? That's all I kept saying.
It has nothing to do with their job unless you're counting their pockets.
Yeah, it was too much of a general statement,
right?
Because it comes down to capability. Who's going to be capable enough
and secure enough? Look, I don't want to have no more conversations about dating somebody who's a rock star without the security conversation, because some people need people to be beneath them to be happy.
And we'll talk about that next show, because we're going to have a child psychologist, right? I think a lot of that has to do with your
ball, baby, ball.
I think a lot of that has to do with your bonding style.
Yes.
Right? And a lot of that is developed in childhood. So you can have a secure bond, you can have an anxious bond. There's different bonds that how you relate to people. Mm-hmm. And with her, it's very troubling that you are relating to people based off their profession and not based off of their capability and their personality.
Right.
And I think you're tying that to, is just like, oh, I want to date a doctor because all doctors have this type of personality, or it's just like, oh, I want to date an Aries because all Aries are like this. It's like, no. You are trying to relate to people based off of a false perception of who they may be, based on something that everybody in that same category has a different personality.
Her mistake was basically not properly breaking down her reasoning.
She didn't articulate
because at the end of the day, no matter what you're looking for, it takes a combination of things.
Facts.
And
you know what I mean?
To be fair to her, a person who is successful is going to be more secure in a relationship with her, and they're going to be more compatible to do the things that she wants to do, vacation the way she wants to vacation, take trips the way she wants to take trips. But that doesn't mean that person is capable of loving you better than
or understanding, right?
Right. But they can financially. You can match, right?
Well, and you know what's telling too, and it just popped in my head how she tweeted about being a Christian. I would think that somebody in her status or her proclaiming to be a Christian, the first thing that you would have said is, when Nick asked her, what are your attributes that you want for, first thing you said is, I want an entrepreneur. You didn't say, I want a Christian man, I want a man of God, I want a God-fearing man. First thing that came out your mouth was
the bag, bro. The bag. That's
always the money.
Let's just say it's the bag, bro. Would people be so insecure around you, or okay, let's say you were taking photos of naked women and half naked women, and you weren't making any money, right? And you were trash at your job, and you weren't popular, and you weren't popping.
That'd be different.
Okay, would people still feel the same amount of insecurity around you? They would be like, no, you're washed. You understand what I'm saying? I don't think that you understand what I'm saying.
It's the clouds and all of that.
It's everything that comes with it. Yeah. And then it's like, if you're good at
sucked at our jobs.
If you're good at what you do, I mean, like everything makes a difference.
Sure.
And how you are perceived.
Even if I heart-eyed under a chick's picture that I've been doing for years, right? You can come into a situation with me and know that this is how I communicate, because I sell records, I sell music, right? So one of my advantages to selling music is to be personable with women. You have to accept that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Let's go, if you just let's go, if you just let go.